Hey guys, this is Summer 66, day 25, and today we're going to talk about an important lesson in life, and it's coming from the book of Lamentations. And I want to talk about tears that speak, and you're going to see the title at the bottom of your screen. And I want to ask you, you know that moment when words are inadequate, literally when words fail you, when grief feels so heavy, and all that remains are tears, like you just can't speak and there's only tears. That's where the book of Lamentations begins. Think of standing at the edge of a wreckage, maybe the wreckage of something you love, maybe a wrecked relationship, a wrecked marriage. You get a difficult diagnosis from your doctor, or a dream that has not come to fruition. Think of that feeling when words are not adequate enough to capture what you feel. You know, there are three kinds of tears. Lamentation literally means tears, right? There are three kinds of tears. There is basal tears, which basically is functional tears. It's the kind of tears that basically your eyes need to be able to, the cornea to be able to function as it should function. And then there is reflex tears, right? Which is sort of the irritant tears. Like maybe you get something into your eye and then your eye starts watering. And as of the recording of this video, there's all the fires out in northern neighbors here, our 51st state. Wink, wink. And some of you can't even go outside, right? There's one of our staff persons here that is just allergic to all that smoke and stuff, right? And it's constantly just tearing up. So that is reflex tears. And then the third kind of tear is emotional tears, right? And that is the kind of tears that is birthed out of emotion, right? Maybe joy or sorrow or just physical pain or stress or sadness. That's the kind of tears that lamentation is talking about, right? Emotional tears. So lamentation is a collection of five poetic requiems or lament, right? Mourning the destruction of Jerusalem in 586. And each of these five tears is structured in such a way where at the end of the day, you think of it as unstructured grief. Right? It's as if sorrow needs a liturgy. Okay. This letter is traditionally attributed to Jeremiah. And what I really love about Lamentation is that it doesn't rush to answers. It sits with sorrow. It weeps honestly. And yet, at the heart of this amazing letter, in the darkest chapter, is a fragile hope that arises like a whisper through the ashes, right? A couple of verses to remember in Lamentation: how desertedly the city of God lies once all the people had left. Number two is Lamentations 2:11. It says, "My eyes fail from weeping." You ever cry so much that your eye literally starts to hurt? But then here is the hopeful verse in Lamentation. It says, "Yet this I recall to mind, and therefore I hope." Lamentation 3:21. And then we get that very popular verse that we often hear quoted: "Morning by morning your mercies are renewed. Great is" what? "Thy faithfulness." There's even a song for that. "Great is thy faithfulness. Great is thy faithfulness. Morning by morning your mercies I see." It comes from Lamentation, right? A little bit of historical context here. I know we're going way over time. Jerusalem had fallen, the temple was in ruin, the people were either slaughtered or they were in exile. This was one of the lowest points in Israel's history. Lamentation gives voice to grief. And it taught the people that no matter how difficult and painful their mourning was, they could be honest with their pain. So, what are some of the theological lessons here? That lament is holy. You know, we have this old saying in our culture, well, men don't cry, boys don't cry. That is not biblical, right? It's okay to cry. God sees your tears. He honors your tears. Lamentation teaches us that we don't have to rush past sorrow with platitudes, right? Sometimes you tell someone, well, you know, by crying, you're not showing that you're strong. One of the things I love about our church here is that we have a ministry called Grief Share. It just walks with people who are crying, and it doesn't tell them to hurry up and get through their sorrows, and like, you know, being sorrowful and being tearful is a sign of weakness. We don't say any of that stuff, right? God's mercies are new every morning, even to the exile. Lamentations reveals that lament is not about the absence of faith, it is a form of faith. To weep to God is to acknowledge that God still hears. And so in the Hebrew tradition, lament was a path to healing. It was a sacred protest that cried, "This is not how things are supposed to be. God is still here." All right. We've gone way overboard, but I think it's worth it. Let's go to the practical takeaway and then we'll let you go. Number one, grief doesn't mean God is absent. Sometimes it's where God meets us in our grief. Number two, lament gives us language for that in between space, between promise and fulfillment, between hurt and healing. Number three, we can still say, "Great is your faithfulness," even when life feels like it is in ruin. Number four, morning will come, my friends. His mercies are renewed morning by morning. Number five, lament is not weakness, it's worship in the dark. Oh, my world, I love this. Lament is not weakness, it's worship in the dark. And the final one, grief does not cancel hope. Grief often clears the way for hope. No matter what your heart is going through today, my friends, if you need to cry, it's okay to cry because I want you to know God's got you. We'll see you back here tomorrow. Bye.